What's up? It is episode number 46 of the Start the Rebuild podcast, STR. I am Ian Mills, joined by Zachary Patron and Tim Fournier for episode 46, also known as the.
Alfred Morris episode.
Many say that, Zach?
Trevor Zegras episode.
Okay. The Jason Collins episode.
Mm,
He wore
he's
46
46. Wow.
with the Nets. I think just his final year in the NBA. So shout out to Jason Collins for that.
Am I
46.
making up that he passed away?
He did pass away, unfortunately. Rest in peace. Rest
RIP.
in peace. He
RIP.
passed away earlier
Oh,
this year.
yeah.
RIP.
I also looked it up real quick. I'll make this quick. Aaron Baines were 46.
Ooh. Yeah, wow.
John Conchar,
Mm.
who I like
Grizzly.
I like the NBA. He's been in the league 7 years. I don't think I've ever heard of him. I don't think I've ever heard of John Conchar. He's been in the NBA since 2019. He's still in the NBA. I think he is. He was on the Jazz last year, but nevertheless, so we got a very special episode for you. We are doing overs and unders for the NFC on the docket. Do we want to start? Do we want to do this in alphabetical order? How do you want this by I feel like by divisions makes the most sense. Is that fair for
You
everyone?
can do that. The
Yeah.
sheet is alphabetical if that's easiest, but if we wanted divisions, that's completely fine too.
I think divisions makes the most sense in terms
Cool.
of
So
Yeah.
let's do it.
organizing it. Let me just pull it up real quick. Why don't we start with the NFC East?
Okay.
I guess. Sorry, I'm trying to pull it up. It's being a little annoying. Okay, so NFC East. So let's start with the Giants. Tim, I want you to go first. Who do you got for the Giants? What do you got for the Giants?
I went under here. I am just not a Harbaugh. I shouldn't say I'm not a Harbaugh guy. I think Harbaugh has a capped ceiling. And then the pairing of Matt Nagy, just I that just does not inspire me at all. Greg Roman's there, and I think he'll put together a good run game, whatever. I just think that pairing with young quarterback and Malik Neighbors knee stuff up in the air, I just don't think they're going to be hitting that number of 7.5. I think seven or less.
I think we're
Yeah.
all in agreement. I think we all took under on this. Is that true?
I don't want my because I think it was the last podcast we did, the Donovan Mitchell podcast, where I said the NFC East is gonna be like a dogfight. And I don't want to be taken as like the Giants guy because I'm not. I took the under. I think they're like a 7-win team. Like there was 7.5.
A lot of these are splitting hairs a lot.
Yeah, yeah, they're getting
Yeah, it's
close.
11
I don't
and a
think they're
half,
gonna
but
be
I really
good.
think they're winning
They're gonna be
11.
bad.
But yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think they're winning like 9 games. I just think when John Harbaugh is gonna put in a certain culture where they're not gonna win like 3 games. I don't think that's possible. I don't know. So I don't think they're
I
gonna
don't
be. I
know.
think they're gonna be feisty. They're gonna win a couple division games, but I don't think they're gonna be that good. I think they're gonna be probably the worst team in the division and still have like 6, probably 7 wins.
Yeah, I
I'm
won't.
all,
I'm not high on them at all. We talked about this last episode. I'm not a Jackson Dart guy. Cam Scatterbo, I guess, is like sometimes somewhat funny, but I don't like he's not
That's
moving
worth
the
a
needle.
win.
Yeah, it's worth a win. John Harbaugh, I get where you're coming from, Zach. Like, yeah, he's probably I don't even know if he is an upgraded coach. I guess he's an upgraded coach over Brian Dable, but whatever. I don't. Again, they're going to be in a good division. They'll raise the floor maybe a hair, but I don't think we've taken enough time on the Giants. Let's
I just
go
want to throw
to
one last thing out there,
okay.
very quickly. The Ravens in the John Harbaugh era were very much known for extremely grueling, really hard practices, and were always extremely injured. And now
Mhm.
the team he coaches plays at MetLife Stadium every week. Like everyone's literally gonna die.
That's a good point.
That's all.
It's a really eloquently put by Tim there. Let's go to a one that I think is a little bit more controversial. The Philadelphia Eagles. Zach, why don't you lead us off on this one?
I took the over just because. of their roster to be like honestly. Like they have a certain like
It's at 10 and a
floor.
half, just for
Yes,
Yeah,
sorry.
sorry,
I
yeah,
should
10
be.
and a half.
I will start saying that. Yeah, that's my bad.
'Cause I'm sure, yeah, we're not shopping these lines, trust me. But I think they can win 11 games. They lost AJ Brown. They still have such a good roster. Um, I don't see it. I don't see them being like a 9-win team with that roster. I don't. And if they do, I that fan base is gonna go crazy. Do you blow it up? Fans are gonna go nuts. They're gonna go for Sirianni's head. Like I just don't see that happening. This is more of just like a kind of like can you see it like a confetti test? Like, can you see them hoisting a trophy? Can you see them losing like 8 or 9 or winning 8 or 9 games? Like, I can't see that. It's kind of a stupid mindset. But with that roster, I don't see them winning less than 11 games. I don't know.
I actually I get where you're coming from. Like that. The thing is like they won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. The year prior, they looked like a disaster. Then last year, they kind of looked like a disaster at the end of the year. And it's like, okay, like, what does
Still
that
win.
mean? Yeah, yeah, exactly. They still won their division. The thing with them is that I think they're gonna like get a couple free wins against the Commanders and against the Giants, and I think that raises their floor. Their schedule otherwise is pretty darn difficult. Like they start with Washington, Tennessee, which is whatever. And then they go Bears, Rams, Jags, Panthers, Cowboys, then a couple free wins, Commanders, Giants, then Pittsburgh. Okay, so like it eases up a little bit in the middle of the pack, but you got a tough stretch. I'm going over on this. I think pretty much for the exact same reasons that you said. But Tim, I know you're veering on this. You're zigging when we
Yeah,
zag.
I mean, to be quite honest, I went through this exercise and I'm like, I'm just picking way too many overs. And I was like,
Mhm.
I tried to like picture in my head like how do these teams go under because obviously not everyone's gonna go over. And this is one of the ones where I was like, I think the Eagles are gonna be good. I could see them having a season where they win 10 games instead of like a normal 11 or 12 for them. And I think that's because of new offensive coordinator, very much big sort of scheme change. No more AJ Brown. Jalen Hurts has been not known at all for being able to throw over the middle, and they're getting, Mekhi Lemon, and they drafted a second tight end, and like that's sort of like the idea of the offense is going to be trying to shift his strengths of throwing more to the outside and like throwing more to the middle. And I'm just sort of betting on a little bit of a maybe a slow start trying to implement that. But they have a really good offensive line and a really good defense. And with that, it's pretty hard to be bad. So this is like I'm picking under, but it's like a like tens almost like I can't see them winning less than nine.
It's a good line. They put a good line on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is one everyone's kind of splitting the hairs. I agree with you, Tim. It's like it gets especially your first point. It's like okay, there's a lot of teams in the NFC that I think are better than the Eagles. So where does that make me think the Eagles will be at? Um, 7.5 for the Washington Commanders. Again, we talked about them last episode. I'm not a believer in the Commanders. Tim, I know you're not a believer in the Commanders, but there is someone who is a believer in Jaden Daniels, Washington Commanders. Zach, why don't you lead us off? 7.5 wins for the commies. How do they do it?
Again, I don't think this is like a 13-win team necessarily, but like it's kind of weird because when you think about going into, I guess, last season, Jaden Daniels was like fifth in MVP odds going into the season, and now he's literally like 14th or 15th. Like I get he wasn't like he didn't play the same way he did the year before, but he had a lot of injuries and stuff like that. So like the question is, can he stay healthy, really?
Yeah.
And if he can stay healthy, I think it's a sure over, to be completely honest. Like I think he's that talented. But like the real question for it's a risky bet because like if he gets hurt, their roster is kind of old. There can be a lot of injuries. Is Dan Quinn the guy? Like I don't know. But I think if Jane Daniels stays healthy, like yeah, Dan Quinn is probably not the guy to answer my own question. But if
Confidently
Jane
say that, probably.
if Jane Daniels can stay healthy, I think this is one of the better bets on the board, to be completely honest. Like, because again, all they have to do is win 8 games. It's 7.5. Like, if Jane Daniels stays, if he plays, let's say 16 games and he stays healthy, I don't think there's a world where they're losing, 10 games. I don't see that.
Two things real quick. Last year, Jaden Daniels played in 7 games. They were 2-5 in those games. He started 7 games. They were 2-5 in games he started. And he played fine in those games. He wasn't especially like amazing. I will say his completion percentage, looking at this, I didn't know this until now. Did you guys know this? His completion percentage went from 69% to 60% in one season, went down by 9%, which whatever, it's a smaller sample size, so it's not that big a deal. But this isn't really about Jaden Daniels to me. Like, he will be better than he was in 2025, but probably worse than he was in 2024 if I had to just be a betting man. It's that Dan Quinn's defense was a bottom five defense in the NFL last season. It wasn't good, and they're playing uh in my mind, they're playing in a division where they're gonna probably comfortably be the third best team. I don't think they're better than the Cowboys. I don't think that they're better than the Eagles. So for me, it's more about the defense. I just don't really believe in it. How many years in a row is Bobby Wagner on the as on the
I think
like
he's a
I
free agent now. I think
is
that
he a
they
free agent? Okay, so they're not okay. I was gonna come at Bobby Wagner's age,
Leo
but I can't even do
Chanel
that. Yeah,
drafted.
Leo Chanel, right? They signed Leo Chanel. So yeah, maybe it gets better, but I'm not a believer in the Commanders.
Yeah, this is just another one where like I think there is some like maybe smaller percent chance that like everything could go right. But I think to like your completion percentage point, we've seen Cliff Kingsbury in the past like come out like firing hot with like a young quarterback and really fall off. Their whole kind of offense with Kingsbury is, very spread everything out in like quick passing game type of that. That's why his completion percentage is so high. They're bringing in a new offensive coordinator where they're really going to be changing things. And what I'm hearing is a lot more like under center play action, like back to the defense. So it's going to be, I think Jaden Daniels is going to be in a very, I think he's super talented as well, but he's going to be in a very different situation than he was in when he was, in terms of a playbook, when he first came in and played so well. And they're also 130, I don't know, 1-year-old Terry McLaurin injury away from having the worst receiving core in the NFL, not named like the Miami Dolphins.
I saw an
So,
article Stephon Diggs is interested though.
Luke
yeah, I
McCaffrey?
mean,
What the hell? Luke McCaffrey?
Yeah, he's a stud.
yeah, that's yeah. And
Wait,
then the defense I think should be better, but I don't think it's going to be good. And they got a new defensive coordinator that is from the Flores tree, but that might take some time to gel, and who knows if he's going to be good. I think there's just too many questions for me to be confident in them, and that's why I chose them to be one of my unders.
Yami Brown?
Yeah, they drafted Antonio Williams in the third round from Clemson.
Nick Nash? Nick Nash, he was like the Triple Crown winner the year that Travis Hunter won the Heisman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Could be.
was he a San Jose State guy?
Yeah, no, San Jose. San Jose, my favorite college.
That's
My favorite
that's
college
that's
in
our
the
that's our that's our
yeah.
we're like
They also,
are we-
I'm looking at their roster right now. They also have a different wide receiver named Jacoby Jones. Not the Jacoby Jones, obviously, but yeah.
RIP.
Fred Davis. Last team of the NFC East, the Dallas Cowboys. Their over under is set at 9.5 wins. Year two of Brian Schottenheimer. Tim, why don't you take this one and lead us off?
Sure. I kind of like Schottenheimer. I like the staff he's put together. Um, and I really like the offense. I think they showed that last year how good they can be if they can get CD Lamb healthy for more of the season as well. There's no reason the offense can't be, slightly even better. And I think they spent a lot and drafted a lot to make the defense better. And the name is escaping me, but the defensive coordinator that they just hired from the Eagles, I think is going to be a lot better than Eberflus. Um, his name's escaping me.
Christian Parker. Christian Parker.
Parker, he's, has been learning under Vic Fangio with the Eagles. So I think this is going to be like a top five-ish offense with a defense that's hopefully coming from closer to bottom five to more towards average. And I think they are going to be puncher's chance for the division title.
Yeah, I lean toward that as well. I picked over. I don't feel like it's probably one of the ones I'm kind of splitting a lot of hairs on. Dak, as I said in previous episodes, I think is one of the. I think he's like close to a top five quarterback in the league. I don't think he's in that top five, but he's probably in like the next two or three guys that come to mind for me. Um, and last year they went 7-9-1. Like they're a game and a half away from, or I guess technically what, 2 games away. They won 7.5 games last year, so to speak. Not really, but you know what I'm saying. 2 wins away. I think their defense, as Tim alluded to, like has just kind of been non-existent in recent memory. Brian Shanahan, who seemed to do a very good job of like, I think coming in there were a lot of concerns about like culture, just because of like he seems like this another just like goofy type of guy taking over. But I like the Cowboys. I think they'll be, as I said, I think they'll be definitely better than the Commanders. I think they'll definitely be better than the Giants. And then they'll probably like it's one of the things I wouldn't be shocked if they just split with the Eagles. Like the Cowboys last year felt like a weird team where like they were always like good, but then you just like would look at their box score at the end of the game and you'd be like, oh, they somehow lost that game. Like I felt like they just like had to score like a million points in every game. And I don't, factually, I'll look that up. But Zach, where are you at on these guys?
I took the under. I don't like, I don't know. I could be like, I don't really see any notable acquisitions on defense other than like Caleb Downs, to be completely honest. Like notable acquisitions that can like change the defense. And their defense was so bad last year.
It's really bad.
And I think like honestly, like I could be wrong. The way I felt about their season last year is like people were kind of like surprised, almost like the first half of the year, like wow, they're kind of like their offense like popped, obviously, but they were almost like surprised that they could have won a couple more games, but they won 7 games, and people weren't like, wow, that was like a terrible season. Like maybe because it was like Schottenheimer's first year, but now their line goes all the way up to like what kind of like I'm just confused like what changed really.
Well,
Um,
so if I would say on their defense, as Tim alluded to, obviously they changed D coordinators. They had Rashawn Gary, second year for Kenny Clark. Quentin Williams was obviously added midseason. Um,
Rashawn
who
Gary,
was
yeah,
who was the linebacker, the Bengals linebacker that they added like mid-year that was like the
Oh,
worst.
Logan
You know what I'm
Wilson,
saying?
yeah.
Logan Wilson, and he had like the like it was like statistically like the
yeah,
worst
he's terrible.
linebacker, and yeah, exactly. And so like it's just like it's almost like addition by subtraction.
They
And
signed two starters in the secondary too. They'll have three
yeah,
starters with
so,
them.
right, and so
First round
I
edge
mean,
rush.
Pickens is playing for a con. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't see them being that different of a team than they were last year to for their over under to be up to 9.5. Like, I don't think they're a 4-win team necessarily, but like, I just think their defense is really bad, and I don't see a way that they can overcome that even with a new D coordinator. Just because he's new doesn't mean he's better, in my opinion. It can't get much worse necessarily, but like their offense was incredible last year and they won 7 games. So like if their offense is just as good this year, like sure that's worth 2 more wins, but that's still like 9 wins technically. So I don't know. I don't see it necessarily. I could be wrong on this, but I'm not high on them this year. I'm not super low on them, but I don't think they're going to go over 9.5.
offense so good. We'll go to the NFC South and start. We'll go to one that I think for the first time is one that we all agree on. The Atlanta Falcons, 6.5 wins. At the count of three, we can all give our picks. We all know what he said. Three, two, one,
And
under. Okay, all right, come on. That's just me. You said, but whatever. Yeah, under. I mean, I think first year of Kevin Stefanski. I think there's some reason to be, I don't know, slightly more optimistic.
Quarterbacks are
I
a little injury
actually,
prone.
what's that?
Quarterbacks are a little injury prone.
Yeah, so that's the issue with them. They have seemingly one of the better like weapon rooms, so to speak, in terms of wide receivers, tight ends, running backs. But Michael Penix, we don't know when he's going to play, and it's going to be Tua who backs him up, who then probably starts
Yeah.
the season, and like
They're just the Falcons. Like no one knows. Like they're always the Falcons.
they
There's
beat the
not
Bills. They beat the Bills last year on Monday Night Football. Never
Yeah,
forget.
they did. Yeah, they did.
That's what 7 wins last year. Am I making that up? Right,
I
seven or
think
8 wins.
yeah, I think
I was at
that's
eight.
yeah. Did they have no, I thought they
Um,
had 7. Yeah,
well, either way,
I don't see it.
Tim, anything to add? 8 and 9.
Yeah, I mean, kind of back to what I was saying before. At some point, like you can't just pick over for everyone, and for almost all these teams, you can like craft a picture in your head where like things go right for them. But as we know, every year there are things that go wrong for teams, and I think this is just one of them. I think they're not like a terrible team, but like when you just stack their team up against other like teams, you're just consistently like, well, I think they're gonna lose this one. Well, I think they're gonna lose this one.
Yeah.
The division isn't good, so like maybe the number's a little low. But I'm sort of choosing to be
Could they
careful.
be this biggest like swing line that in the NFC where like if they win like 11 games and like their offense clicks and it just because they have the weapons, it's just like it's not the most surprising thing in the world if like Penix is just like a solid enough quarterback to get like 10 or 11 wins and their defense is gets like solid, you know? Like I could see that going like either way to be I'm
Yeah,
not
and the rest of the division isn't that good, and maybe it goes like really bad for the other three teams. Like
right,
maybe,
right.
but at some point you gotta pick a side.
Um, if you had to guess, where do you think the Falcons offense ranked in terms of points last year in the NFL?
I would have said,
I'd say like 18.
yeah, I would have said anywhere from 15 to 20.
24,
Wow,
24th. I was a little
that's
shocked it
crazy.
was that low. I was a little shocked it was that low.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In deep,
10X not playing very well. Yeah, I should guess lower. 15 was way too high. I meant more towards 20. Um, Penix it wasn't that good last year. Got hurt. They had Kirk Cousins. Drake London got hurt last year. He missed like 5 games.
Yeah.
The defense was actually better than expected last year. It was actually
yeah.
underratedly good, even though the roster does not look good. So,
Well, as you said, they ranked points defensively last year was 19 yards, 15th.
but it was like
Um,
going into the season, you would have expected them to be horrible
correct,
because you can name
correct.
AJ Terrell
Yes,
if you're and Jesse Bates, and that's about it if you're an average fan.
yeah. Yes, 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 yes. So yeah, I think I'll agree. Falcons, I think Tim kind of summed it up best. It's like you just need a team to go under, and like there's no reason to really feel inspired. They
Yes.
Kevin Stefanski kind of doing the very classic coach speak, like I just these guys, like in terms of training camp with Tua versus Penix, and they're calling it a quarterback battle. So you never know.
I
Just
don't know who
iron
their third
sharpens
string
iron.
I don't know who that third string quarterback is, but he there's a good chance he plays more games than Tua does this year.
Actually, that's a really good question. Let me, while we do this real quick, let me just look up the Atlanta Falcons depth
I
chart.
think,
What was it like?
yeah. I
Place
mean,
your place your bets on who you think their third string. Oh, you've heard of him. You both
Is
have
it
heard of their third string
Miami?
quarterback.
Is it
No, he retired.
not Ritter
Bendinucci.
anymore?
This is a guy who was a at least a 2 year starter in the NFL a couple years
No,
back.
Sam Howell's
Huh?
on the Cowboys. I was gonna say Sam Howell was on the Cowboys.
I'll give you one more hint and I'll just give you the answer. He was after one team had won a Super Bowl, he started for them the next season.
Okay, we can get this. We can get
Kenny
this.
Pickett. No.
Like he was their starter the next season. Like he was their guy the next season. And I believe he played like decently. Let me look it up.
Oh, Stidham.
Nope. Like he was their starter for the entire year.
Osweiler? I'm thinking like Bron. I don't know.
You're thinking Broncos is the right path.
It's not Osweiler?
No, Osweiler started the season they won the Super Bowl. No, I'm saying he started the year after they won the Super Bowl. This guy started the year after they started the Super Bowl. Maybe
I
one
don't
of the
know,
most
man.
forgettable stints in NFL history, the fact that this guy
We
started
got
in
it. We got to
25
just got to
games. He
lock him out.
started he started 25 games over 2 years,
Okay.
How's it not?
30 touchdowns to 24 interceptions in that stretch. Career 44
He was
touchdowns
on
to
the
32
Broncos?
picks. He was on the Broncos. He was on the Broncos for 3 years. He was a 2 year starter for them.
I could have
And
sworn Brock Osweiler went in
It
after.
wasn't. It's
he's
not like Bridgewater. It's not Keenum. It's not.
now he started 6 games for the Saints in 2021, five for the Jets in 2023. Dude, this is I actually didn't know he started this many games in the league. He's such a weird career
Wait. So
because
he started. He started. It was all for the big ones were for the Broncos.
he had yeah. So let me read you his games played, games started. 2015, one game played for the Broncos. 2016, 14 for the Broncos. 2017, 11 for the Broncos. 2018, nothing. 2019, one game for the Jets. 2020, nothing. 2021, 6 games for the Saints, where he went 11 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. 2022, 2 games for the Bears. 2023, 5 games for the Jets. And he has not started, or he has not played in a game
Okay,
since.
I know this. I can't pull in it's
Which movie?
Northwestern guy.
I literally know this. Is it like
He
Kevin Hogan or something?
he once gave for Christmas, he once gave his offensive lineman
Or like
jackets that displayed Skittles, like it had Skittles that came out of the pockets,
Dude,
something like
what?
that. I don't know why I know that fact about him, but I do.
I'm gonna
Will
kick him
Anderson's
off.
going crazy in the comments right now. Like, how did you not think of? You want me to give it to you?
Aaron?
No, I wish it was AJ McCarron. Do you want me to give it to you?
Why can I
I'm
not?
I'm
Give
I'm a
me his
little
initials
shy.
and I'll get
What
it.
what number did he wear
Uh,
on the Broncos?
with on the Broncos, let me see. I want to say 13, which is like the least quarterback number
Allen?
of all.
Something Allen? No?
Allen.
It's not Kyle Allen or Brandon Allen.
Why can I
He
not think?
were he wore
Yeah, I really thought that Brock Osweiler was
You
the
give me his initials, I get it.
successor to Manning.
he wore 13 with the Broncos. TS.
Trevor Simeon.
Trevor
Yeah,
That's who I was
Simeon.
thinking of. That's what I was thinking of when I
yeah.
said
I like just could not pull the name out of my head.
So
Stidham, I meant Simeon.
okay, so who starts more games for the Falcons this year? Trevor Simeon, Michael Penix, or Tua? Are we?
I don't know, man. That might
I
be a
think.
discussion for August.
Well, I
I think.
think the fact that like Penix and Tua are injury prone, but like they're both on the team, like helps it out in a
True.
sense that like
True.
He's
Someone
gonna
will be
play.
get
He's
healthy.
like
gonna
eight
play
games
for
out of both
sure.
or something.
You could go. I wouldn't be shocked if it goes 8-8, and then in the last game of the year they just put
Well,
Simeon
like
in
you
there.
have to start Penix first, right? Assuming he's healthy enough to
I
go.
think
Because if
so.
you start Tua, you have to be like
I think
Penix
so.
career is over.
Right, exactly.
Or or do you go with the pride of Minnesota Moorhead State and start 6'5", 240-pound Jack Strand, who is their fourth string
Hmm.
quarterback,
Hmm.
who I think is a
He's gonna
rookie.
see some action.
Preseason game 3, Jack Strand might throw for 450 against whoever they play in the third game of the preseason. All right, that's enough of that. Carolina Panthers, 7.5 wins, coming off a division win. I'll start off with this one. I think I went under. I am going under on this. 7.5 is a really low number. That is the thing that makes me a little bit okay. Maybe I think Dave Canales is a fine coach, but here's the issue with them. I don't think Bryce Young is that good of a quarterback. It comes down to two things. I don't think Bryce Young is that good, and they're playing a first place schedule again.
Yeah.
That's kind of it. Like that's kind of my case here is like the NFC North, excuse me, NFC South, I should say. As we kind of alluded to, isn't the strongest division, so like that could pick up some wins. But I like it just kind of screams to me one of those things where they're like perpetually splitting, with splitting with the Falcons and the Bucks, baby, and it's just like they kind of get to 6 or 7 wins, but I just don't see that. Like it almost felt like they caught lightning in a bottle a little bit to a certain extent last season. I don't know if you guys feel super strongly about this one way or the other, though.
I don't feel strongly at all. I think this is a 6 to 9 win team. So I
Yeah,
leaned under, which pains me to say, the hometown Charlotte Panthers. I think they made some decent roster moves, but they're already dealing with offensive line injuries. They already had Nick Scorton tear his ACL or whatever in training camp. So bad injury vibes already there. And I think this team is just solid, and then they just I like Bryce Young, like I'm rooting for him, and I think he's like a solid player. But I think when he's your quarterback, your upside is capped. And I think Canales is fine. I don't think he's a
yeah.
great coach. I don't think he's a bad coach. I think he's fine. And I think all of that adds up to being a 6 to 9 win team. And if you get a harder schedule, I'm going slightly lower.
I went like I was like stuck on this one, so I just went. I looked at the schedule. I just did the win-loss game, and I counted, I think, 5 or 6 wins. Like they just have a tough schedule. honestly. And I don't know if they necessarily caught lightning in a bottle, but in a sense they kind of did because like they did have some upset wins, I think. And I just don't think Bryce Young is that guy, to be completely honest. Like I think your ceiling is capped when you're that short of a quarterback. It sounds
To
stupid.
play a perfect game every time.
Yeah,
And sometimes he does, but like it's just impossible to ask that every time.
Yeah, I
dude.
know. I just and no other reason that I just did the win-loss game. I didn't know. I
Yeah.
just I counted like 6 wins. Like I just think they're an under.
Yeah, that's totally valid. Two things real quick. I remember they beat the Rams in the regular season last year. Like Matt Stafford had like the worst game of his MVP. If you had to guess, where do you think the Carolina Panthers ranked in terms of points last season, 2025?
20.
16.
27th.
Oh, jeez.
27th for points, 27th for yards, but 15th for defense, and then 16th for yards. Um,
Well,
so
I think they had like a historically awful run defense. So teams just like ran for 4 yards and then just like
right,
burned 30 seconds or every
true.
play. And just,
Yeah.
I think that was a little bit of that going on.
Yeah, that's wild.
Bryce Young in 16 games last year passed for 3,011 yards. Yeah. Well, okay.
Also,
So Tim,
Chuba Hubbard's really
did you
good.
take under or did you take over?
I did take the under officially. Did
Okay.
say over originally.
Okay. No, I was just curious. So we all agree on that. We really hate the NFC South, it seems. Let's see if that changes with our next team. I think sneaky, a team that is going to be like it's going to be the trendy. Oh, they're going to make the playoffs pick. 7.5. The New Orleans Saints. Zach, you got a little face. I want you to start with this one.
I just think
Seven
they're
and a half.
I just think they're gonna stink, to be completely honest.
Okay.
Love it.
Like Tyler, like I love Tyler Shuck and I love the idea of Tyler
Mm.
Shuck, but he just played like he played well, but he didn't play like great, and they're already like kind of like hard pressed for talent, honestly. Like Chris Olave is great, but like he can't stay healthy, and then Alvin is a year older. I don't know. Like I just I, I don't see them being above 500. Like I think that
They don't
division.
have to be. They don't have to
I
be
know
above
that
500.
they don't have to be, but just like I think the NFC has gotten so tough, and like their schedule is, I think it's a little tougher than it was last year. Am I wrong in saying that?
Say it again.
I think their schedule. I checked their
All right.
schedule is harder than it
So
was
so
last year.
here's your
I
schedule.
just
I'll
think
read up the schedule. At Detroit, at Baltimore, home against Vegas, home against Falcons, home against Minnesota, at New York, versus Pittsburgh, then a bye week. I'll admit that is a tough first three games, especially the first two games. I don't know. Like it's one of those things. Like they just kind of got hot once Tyler Shook came in. It felt like they were like a decent team last year. Decent team. Um, and they were
who's
horrible with Spencer Rattler at the start of the season. They were really, really bad. And Spencer Rattler really wasn't like the worst quarterback in the world. I didn't think. I just
Well,
wasn't
last
really
year they were
doing
supposed
putting
to be the
anything in.
worst team in the league, and then they were like just normal bad. And now it's like,
right?
oh,
Yeah.
they were normal bad last year, so
You have to
they
get stopped
should be good this
automatically.
year. But like, it doesn't work like that.
Who's their number two receiver? Do we like?
Well, they drafted Jordan Tyson, but he's
Oh,
also
okay.
always injured as well.
Yeah,
He
I
literally
don't know.
hasn't
Yeah.
played like a full season of football in like 3 years,
Yeah, I don't see it.
and he's like
Wow.
still off an injury. And Olave
Um,
gets murdered every play.
Olave had 1,100 yards last year.
He was great
Um,
last year, but yeah.
the Saints leading rusher last season, Alvin Kamara, no shock, 471 yards. They really stunk when in terms of running when it came to running the ball last season. So
Well, they
that's
signed Travis Etienne.
yes,
They did.
HN.
They
Um,
did.
So you know
and their
that'll
offensive
I
line
think
is
it's off.
young, but like really promising. So like that could be a big swing factor. I think Shuck is like the perfect like example of what they were supposed to be last year. Like they were supposed to suck, but then they were like normal bad. And like
yeah,
Shuck was like normal below average quarterback, starting
yeah.
quarterback. So it's like, oh, like this is so cool just because it's like expectations are here and you're here, but like the rest of the league is here.
His expectations were so low, I feel like.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like Shook coming out. Like I'm not gonna like victory lap it, but I was like, I don't think he's gonna be bad. But I also am not sitting here now saying that he's like amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
I took the over,
Mm.
and there's like nothing I've disagreed with anything that either of you has said so far. The reason I kind of took the over was I just think the NFC South is so bad that like somebody needs to get to 8 wins. Somebody will need to get to
sure.
8 wins.
Yeah,
And I somewhat feel stronger about the Saints than I do the Panthers and Falcons, obviously. And honestly, I'm not super high in the Bucks either. Um, I just think like they were what 7-10 or 8-9 last year, and like I do think they've gotten marginally better. And that's to say, like their offense last year, like we're going to keep doing that game. Their offense last year was really bad. It was 28th in the NFL. But a lot of that was with Spencer Rattler at the helm. So I don't. It's not one I feel super strongly about. But I did go over for the New Orleans Saints at what was the total?
7.5.
7.5, 7.5, right?
Suck for Shuck.
Suck for Shuck. I've often said that.
Yeah.
So last team of the for some reason my thing's out of order now.
It's the
Tampa
Last
Buccaneers.
Bay Buccaneers.
I know it's the Buccaneers. I was trying to look for
It's the
his.
Buccaneers.
Okay, 8.5, 8.5, 8.5.
This is the one I felt most confident in the division.
Same.
Okay. All right, you guys go. Take it away.
I went confident over here. I think a little bit like the Bucks were disappointing last year, but they were right in that three-way tie. So there's no reason that like the Panthers or Saints or Falcons should be like based off of last year, they're already better than the Bucks sort of thing. Um, and the Bucks in this division and just overall have well in the division they have the best offensive line. They have a really good offensive line, and their defensive line they added to it with Ruben Bain. They're getting Kalijah Kancey back. They have very talented safeties, little up and down corner room, but the defense should be improved. The offensive line is really good. And Baker, the like list of injuries that he had last year that he just played through is like 7 injuries long. He
Yeah.
started off playing so well. They lose Mike Evans, obviously, but like he didn't play that much last year. So I think it's still a downgrade, but like it's like it's a loss. But I don't really think there's any reason why they shouldn't be going into this season as like the favorite to win the division. And if that's going to happen, I think that means they win 9 games at least.
Yeah. I agree. Their line shocked me, to be completely honest. Like, you didn't even mention they signed Alex Anzalone too. They signed
Yeah.
Kenneth Gainwell at running back too. He's very effective in the pass game. I'm a Bucks guy. I'm a Baker guy. I'm all over the Bucks this year. They're not going to win 14 games. They're not going to win 13 games. They might, but that division is very gettable. They always play those division teams really tough though, which kind of concerns me. Like I feel like all those games are tied going to the fourth quarter, no matter who it is. But I'm not too worried about the loss of Mike Evans. I do think Buka is going to take another step. They always find a way at tight end to find some talent there. I'm never worried about that. And yeah, I do think that their defensive acquisitions could really mean something. And then Baker was really banged up last year, but he's never the guy who's going to sit out and let you know about it. So I think if Baker can stay healthy, I think this goes way over. I will probably be betting this to be completely honest.
I
I
will
think,
too.
yeah, I think this is a very strong over for me. This is probably my most confident one. I'm a little biased, but I do think they're definitely going over. So yeah, Sean Tucker, another step maybe.
Hughes legend.
He's like,
All right,
Syracuse.
all right,
Wait, what is
Hank.
it,
All right.
please?
Let's let you pour some water on it.
Um, so the whole like thing with the Bucks the last couple of seasons has been to an extent like just consistency. Like they'd won the division how many years in a row under Todd Bowles, heading into last year. And yes, I understand that Baker Mayfield played through injuries last season.
He was also
Um,
very good until he got like, and then he like felt
they
the first
started
four
what,
weeks of the
five and
season.
one?
They started off very good
Yeah,
without Mike Evans as well,
yeah.
and the whole offensive line got hurt.
Or
And
Chris Godwin.
yeah,
yeah, I mean, yeah, like I'm not moved by Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Obviously, they're not there, but I'm not putting them into this equation. I don't know. I'm not. It feels to me so their win totals the last 4 years: 8, 10, 9, 8, and under Todd Bowles. Those are 4 years under Todd Bowles. 8, 10, 9, 8, and yes, they had won the division the previous 3 years. One of those is obviously with Tom Brady. I think that they've just been like they've just taken advantage of being in like a horrendous division the last 3 years. And like last year, they took a minor step back because Baker was hurt for the most part toward the end of the season, and it obviously cost them. I'm just not like especially moved by Todd Bowles as a coach in general. I'm not especially moved with Baker. I know you guys both seem to be big Baker guys. I'm not. A couple years ago, we did a podcast when Baker was on the Panthers, and I did this whole spiel about how Baker is going to suck on the Panthers and how bad he's going to be on the Panthers. And I was right about that. Clearly, he's bounced
Victory
back.
lap.
It doesn't matter. It's funny. I actually said, "What do you feel better about going into this season, Tua with the Dolphins or Baker with the Panthers?" And you both conceded that Tua will probably be better than the Dolphins, which is true for the time
I
being.
would
But it's
never
just
say that.
yeah, it's just funny looking back on it. It's just funny looking back on it because clearly Baker's had this weird career. Um,
Well, it was
I'm
right for
just what's that?
Tua was better for 2 seconds.
Tua was better for one
Okay.
season. Tua was better for one season, and it was the one season I said that he would be better than Baker. So that was cool.
Victory lap.
Um, Look, I think yeah, I can just keep talking about this if you want. They were fine. Like they were like they've just been a fine season or for fine team for the last couple of years under Todd Bowles. Like the major stat is that they beat like a Philadelphia Eagles team that like just absolutely hated each other and collapsed at the end of the year. Like they lost how many games in a row heading into the playoffs? Like well, that was the year the Eagles started like 10-0 and then finished 11-6 or whatever the stat ended up being. Um, I just am not moved by this team like whatsoever. I haven't been moved by them for they've just been like a one and done team. Last year they were 8-9. Tide Bulls is whatever. Baker's kind of I don't know. He's like he's low key a turnover merchant if we're being honest with each other.
I think it's very fair to be like they're stale and whatever, but so
Yeah.
we're going on history and you're like they've won 8, 9, 10, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. And then the other people in the division that have to win 9 games instead of them are like 2, 2,
No,
4,
that's
8,
valid.
2.
That's valid.
The Panthers, the Falcons are
But
the
they
same.
haven't
They're just
changed
like,
anything. They literally haven't changed anything. Like they just
which is
continue to
why
like
we're
But
betting
they're
on them
neither
trying.
is any of the
like
other
they always
teams.
They're
do.
changing.
The
They're just
Falcons added Tua. I
they're
guess we're going
changing.
on them,
I
but
said under on the Falcons. They're changing. The bet on the Falcons is yes, they're going to continue to be decent in a really bad division. That's fine. I think I'm more confident in the
I think
Saints
that's our
winning the
bet on the
division.
Bucks.
And that's
okay.
fine, but like to be confident at 8.5 wins, like I confident, like no, like to me, this is like a flip of a coin. Like I would go under just because I'm not as high in Baker or Todd Bowles that it seems like you two are. But to be confident they're gonna be over 8.5 to me is
Well,
like
it's out of the lines we've gotten. Have you been confident in one of them yet?
out of
Been
out of
halfway through?
all of them, what have I been most confident in so far? Probably the Cowboys, I guess, over 9.5. But I'm not like
And that's
especially
not a
confident in
coin
that
flip.
either.
I
What's
think you
that?
just said it was a coin flip.
Either way, I my point is the Bucks to me, you guys are talking about the Bucks like a little too high for my liking. That's all.
No,
Eight and
I
a
just
half.
think you
They'll be
You have
just
a
fine.
winning
you just
record against that
yeah.
division. Tua, Tyler Shuck, and freaking
They
Bryson.
didn't,
Come
but
on.
they didn't last year. They did like I don't know.
I know, I
Whatever.
know, I know.
And I think the Saints will get better. Will be better than they were last year. And but yeah, I do think the Panthers and the Falcons just basically don't exist, shouldn't exist. All right, go to the NFC North here. We'll start with a team we mentioned a little bit last week, the Chicago Bears, in what I think is a stacked division. I think are we all agreeing on the Chicago Bears? Are we all going over on the Chicago Bears?
I'm a,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
over. Yeah.
over.
the defense worries me a lot. Especially with how lucky they got with turnovers last year. And Caleb, I think, is super high variance. But the offensive line and Ben Johnson, I think, just gives them a very high floor that I'm confident to just say like, I think they got a high floor and let the variance go, and I like it. I like the over 9.5.
If this was like, this might sound weird, but if it was 10 and a half, I might have gone under. Like
Ten
they're
and a half
that
feels a lot scarier. Yeah.
yeah, like the entire
And it's
that
like, whoa,
division.
you won 11 games. You were like,
I
Mhm.
know. This entire
okay.
division, I feel like we can do an entire podcast on. Like
Yeah.
I don't, dude, I don't have no idea. This is the most fascinating division I can remember. I went over again, let Tim, like you said, their offense is it's so dynamic, and their floor with that offense, if Caleb is just competent, because he wasn't great last. Like if people are assuming he's gonna take another step, I would assume he's gonna take another step. I just 9.5, I'm going over. 10.5, I might go under. I think they're a 10-win team. I think any team in that division could be a 10-win team. But it'd be so hard to go under 9.5 right now with this. I'm so not confident with this pick.
I just
Um,
realized that I took the over on all four teams in the
Tim,
division.
so did I. I didn't want to say that because I want to
And I
spoil
Did
don't,
it
I
for
I
you.
wouldn't
too?
necessarily change anything.
I know.
Wait,
Neither.
wait. I did we all do that? I think we all did that.
Yeah.
Dang.
Don't love that.
Can we just like talk about the division as a whole here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Since
Since
yeah,
we're
we
all
all
let's do
going
that.
agreed.
Let's
over
do
on
that.
all
Let's
four
do that.
teams.
Let's do
Like,
that. Let's jump to that. Yeah.
so who do you guys think is winning this division? If you gun to your head,
I think Detroit.
I think Bears. I think Chicago. I think
I
Chicago.
think, I
Detroit.
think,
Detroit has a last place schedule, man.
That's a good
I
point.
think, I think, gun to my head, I'm saying Detroit as well. I think it's if I had to, so let's all pick our orders. Maybe I go. So let me preface this by saying I took the over on all of them, and the lowest one is the Vikings with 8.5 wins. I think it goes Detroit, Bears, Packers, Vikings, but I'm still picking the over on the Vikings to win 9 games.
I'm the same boat. I'm the same exact boat.
And
Yeah,
you,
that's
you're flipped at the top, I assume.
yeah. I would go Chicago, Detroit, and like I could see like Minnesota and like Green Bay finishing basically tied at the bottom, so to speak, but be fighting for those last wild card spots. I think yeah, as you mentioned, Detroit's kind of had this weird like hangover after losing Ben Johnson last year. But they
But they still had a
still
good
like they
offense.
still
It's
a
just
good yeah, they were still like a good team. It's just like they had like this like weird losses. Like they had the weird loss to the Steelers at the end of the year that or
Yeah.
toward the end of the season. Um I think they're a bounce back candidate. With the Bears, the reason I kind of feel so confident with the Bears, I think Tim mentioned you mentioned a really good point. Like their defense does kind of stink, and I don't expect that to change perhaps. But they were a top 5 offense, or excuse me, top 10 offense in Ben Johnson's first year. I think Caleb will kind of only get better. I would hope at least, and I think Ben Johnson will kind of continue. But I think it's kind of like I'm coin flip between them and Detroit. With Minnesota, like the fact that they won 8 games, or was it 9 games last year or 8 games last year? Because they lost,
one.
You won 8,
they
right?
won.
I think
I
they
thought they
won
won the last game of the year to go 9-8.
Oh,
Either way,
9. Yeah, they won 9
9 and
because then
8,
Detroit
right?
finished last with the
they
tiebreaker, I
finished
think.
9-8. Yeah, so
Yeah.
technically Minnesota went 9-8 and was third in the division. They did so.
Detroit.
Um, they did so with the bottom 5 offense in the NFL with JJ like plotting
I,
JJ McCarthy out there.
The
they
worst quarterback
started.
play in the league last year.
I
Like
forget who they started
Yeah,
at quarterback like that one. They like one or two games.
Rosemer,
Rosemer, yeah,
Wentz played, right?
yeah. Wentz was for a few
yeah.
games.
Like they won 9 games
He
doing
wasn't
that.
even good.
And they're gonna like part of me wants to pick the Vikings because I'm like the floor is gonna be raised so much by going from like an absolute liability to like Kyler, who I'm higher on than most. Still, I don't think he's like a top 10 guy, but like I think like part of me just talking about this, like I'm almost talking myself into the Vikings being the two, that maybe the one or the two in this division. Um, but yeah, it's just tough. Like the one knock that you would have against any of these teams is, hey, they have to play against each other, right? Like they're gonna have to lose games because they're gonna have to play against each other. And the fact that Brian Flores, right, he's still like he's still there. Like you know what I mean? Like in the Vikings last year were one of the best. I mean, that's what kept them alive to get 9 wins, is obviously the defense. And they're gonna just to an extent run that back. I don't know.
One team that
I
I
struggle
think
with
I thought the most about the under was the Packers, just because they've lost some offensive line
yeah,
stuff, and Parsons is going to take some time to get back.
yeah.
That
I
was
They
like
had
the
a
team.
The weird thing about this division though is like it could the difference between second and fourth, like Vikings or like Packers or whatever, like it can come down to literally one drive in one game in the fourth quarter
Yeah.
to cause a tiebreaker. So like we can like have like we can have these conversations and stuff, but at the end of the day, it can literally come down to like four plays that decide the order of the division. But I mean, this was like the same thing when they brought in Sam Darnold for the first year
Dude,
and people had questions and they're like, yeah, they're last place for sure. And they legitimately were like a Super Bowl contender until, and then they got blown out the first round. But like until the last 1 or 2 weeks of the season with Sam Darnold the first year, no one saw that coming. And other than like, I mean, I think we can agree that Kyler Murray going to Minnesota had a comparable career, maybe even better than Sam Darnold had before he went to
Oh,
Minnesota.
definitely better. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
better,
yeah.
better,
So
But,
like,
very
but
better,
same
better.
obviously
sentiment.
they
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
do. They
Like
have
the first,
this.
like, yeah.
Yeah. So like, could they win the division? Like, yeah, they could also win it by one game and be separated by 2 games over fourth place. Like, it's just that type of division this year, I think.
Yeah, the last year it was 11 wins for Chicago, 9 wins for everyone else. Like they
Yeah,
were all above 500.
tiebreakers.
So
Cool. I think that
yeah,
covered.
I was the Packers would be the only team I was like a little bit questionable on, which was
Okay.
they just 9-7-1 last year. But kind of it did kind of feel like a little bit like what we were talking with the
The
Cowboys, or not with
Packers
the
last
Cowboys.
year, they were 9-7-1, but they might have had the highest peak
Yeah,
when they were like right before Parsons got hurt. Like there's that
yeah,
Broncos game where like the
yeah.
offense was firing and Parsons was insane, and then he got hurt, and they kind of
Right.
like were a little up and down compared to what they were before. But yeah,
All right,
It's-
now to the team everyone's been waiting for in the NFC West. 3.5 games for the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going over.
yeah. I
Just
mean,
because it's such a low number. It's such a low number. But if there is a team to go under on, it might be at this number. It might be the Cardinals.
I
Tim,
thought
I
I
know
could
you went
take
under,
the way out and just be like, well, Jacoby Brissett hasn't been signed yet, but he literally
and he
signed
got
like
signed.
today.
Yeah, I guess.
When I
$15
did
million
this
dollars a
focus out
year.
yesterday. What's
I think
that?
it was 20. That was 1 year, 20 million.
Was it 20? I thought it was 15.
I
And
think
then
it
he
was
moved up
15, but
from.
there might have been incentives or something to get up to 20.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's maybe what it was.
Um, yeah, I mean 3.5 is so low, but I think some people are like I've seen a couple times like, oh my God, the Cardinals have such good like playmakers and stuff, but it's like when your quarterback sucks and your defense sucks and your offensive line like is like there's a couple pieces, but it's just like I think they don't want to be good. I think Brissett's gonna play, and then they're gonna be like, let's get Carson Beck out there. We spent a third round pick on him, and then it's gonna just be a
Gardner
shit.
Minshew. Gardner Minshew's also there. People
Yeah,
forget.
I think they're gonna be like, what's the point of pointing in Gardner Minshew if we drafted a quarterback
Yeah,
in the third round? Like throw him in there, and then he's gonna suck.
yeah.
I'm
Um,
I don't know.
Go ahead,
But
Zach.
3.5 is so low that I can't blame anyone for taking the over.
I I know I put the over in. I just looked up their schedule and it sounds stupid, but it's like
Their division is also the best three teams in a division.
and
Yes.
their
Yeah.
last place conference game is the
Conference. Yeah.
Lions. Like I honestly, my
Yeah.
logic to this was like there's gonna be 4 games. If they win 4 games, there's gonna be 3 of them where Brissett throws for 450 yards and they just win. But like looking at their schedule, I don't even know if that's possible.
I
Like they
use a website like it's called Playoff
Chargers.
Predictors that like you can pick every single game. Like I ran through it like pretty fast. I wasn't thinking that hard about it, and I ended up with them having 2 wins. Like there's just not that many times where you're like, well, I
Yeah.
think
They
that's
play
a
the AFC West. They play the AFC West, and
Yeah.
their last place conference game is the Lions, and then they have to play the NFC West, which all of those teams could easily sweep them.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Um,
you're like never going to be picking them to win a game. So it's hard to come out and be like, oh yeah, 4 wins on the schedule. But
Eagles and
it's a
Commanders.
little it's a low number, and it's the NFL. Like they could just play against the the I don't know, the Broncos one week and they're on their third string quarterback and then they end up
Sure.
winning.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's sort of why I was making. I don't want to talk about this team any longer, but I will say one incredible stat about Jacoby Brissett, which I just learned. So he is 20-45 in his career as a starter. That's pretty bad, right? He has a 61.9 completion percentage through a career, which is like fine. Did you know that Jacoby Brissett is the all-time career leader an interception percentage at 1.4%
I feel
in
like
the
he throws
NFL.
about
So low.
50
Like
times
low.
a game.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was shocked by that. That's why I literally was. I was like, "How is that?" But that's the thing. He throws the ball so much
Yeah,
that and he doesn't. It's not like he's like a Jameis Winston type where he throws a million interceptions. So like
right.
that kind of helps him. Like last year, didn't he like set the like he like broke the record for like completions in a game or
Yeah,
attempts in a
yeah,
game or something like that, right?
yeah.
But he has the lowest interception percentage
Correct. Yeah. So I
for like a
phrased that weird.
Right.
certain cutoff.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
according to NFL or Football Reference, 1.4 gold career totals indicate an all-time career record. So, um,
He's one of those
yeah.
guys that just really gets screwed by like the influx of quarterback talent into the league. Like if Jacoby Brissett was this caliber of player dropped into like 2008, like he would have started on a team for 10 years.
Well, but here's the thing about him, Tim. He was a full-time starter in 2017. He was a full-time starter in 2019. He started 5 games in 2021, played in 11. He started 11 games in 2022. Like he started 12 games last year. Like he kind of has had this weird career where
I
he's
just mean
been
on one team.
yeah, okay, that's fair. He could
Are you,
be, yeah,
He was
are
always
you
never,
putting
they were never like happy that he was a starter
true.
right?
I guess the
No.
Colts, right? The Colts when they traded for him, maybe.
For a year. They didn't
Yeah,
want to like keep him.
yeah,
Like
no,
he could have easily been like Ryan Fitzpatrick on the Bills for like multiple seasons or something.
correct. All right, now let's just. I think I know we can kind of do what we did with the NFC North with the rest of these teams: Niners, Seahawks, and Rams. You kind of alluded to it earlier, Tim. Like potentially the three best teams in the conference, potentially like three of the top 10 teams in the entire NFL. Where do we want to start with this? Well, I guess we'll start with the 49ers. They're 9.5. This was the team I felt like the I took the over and I think you both did as well. Oh no,
I
Zach, you
took
took
the
the
under.
under.
Yeah, I took the
All right,
under.
let's hear your take.
I
Shanahan car
think
crash?
that plays a factor.
Dude, big
Um,
time. Training camp. Come on.
yeah, they signed Mike Evans and they signed Christian Kirk um to help the offense, but they're off. I don't know, man. Like the division is so tough. I think they're clearly the third best team in the division, and that's not saying they're like bad. But they had such an easy schedule last year. Like such an easy schedule last year. And they just kind of walked through a lot of those games. My logic is they've never been healthy. Like, why would they just now be healthy when they added Mike Evans and Christian Kirk? Like,
Their
we're not going
their
to act
court,
like
their
like
coach is literally not healthy. Their
their
coach is quite
coach isn't
literally.
even healthy. So how can how can you expect a 30 plus year old or two 30 plus like receivers to stay healthy? Brock Purdy's always injured. I'm not again, this isn't like a bot like a 2-3 win team, but like in that division, again, very challenging schedule. They also have to play the AFC West. So I can see that like if they go 9-8 and like if they go 9-8, Purdy stays like mostly healthy. They just have their like typical injuries. Like I can't imagine that's like people are so disappointed. Like, oh my, the Niners underachieved so much. I mean, the line's what 9.5. So like if they go have a winning record at 9-8, like I think they overachieved last year. A lot of it had to do with the schedule. I just don't think they're gonna go back to back years, with that amount of wins. I think this is an under, especially with that schedule. I'm suspicious that they're going to be any healthier than they were last year. Um, I don't. we're joking about the coach. Like Kyle Shanahan's a great coach. Like he's not going to miss time. Like he's. I was joking that he's going to be on the puck list, the physically unable to coach list. Like most of their players, but I just think they're an under. That division's tough. I spoiler alert took the over on both teams. I think the Niners could be one of the best teams in the last 5 years. I just think I don't know. They're the Niners. They're not going to be healthy. I'm going under.
I'm taking the over. Two words. Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy, must see TV. Um,
Couple more than two.
no, I like Kyle Shanahan is I think he might be the best coach in the NFL. Like in it's I know he hasn't won the Super Bowl and he's choked in certain Super Bowls. Like I'm just so high on him. Like he gets so much, or he has gotten so much out of so little. Not to say that he has so little now. Like I do think Brock Purdy has developed into a really like he's developed and had a really decent career. I think he's developed into a really good quarterback. Considering like there were certainly some limitations with him, but last year he like I was like other than when they play the Seahawks and he was just like running for his life the entire game, like just like literally was like attempted murder on every single snap against Brock Purdy, just because of how injured and how bad their O line was toward the end of the season. But I don't know. I like the Niners. They were good last year. I think they'll continue to be good. Out of the three teams remaining, they'll probably finish third. But I still like them to beat 9.5.
Yeah, for me, it comes down to the same exact thing. They have Kyle Shanahan, which I think is just such a high floor. And then just taking a look at their schedule, like when I did this whole thing, I somehow ended up with having 14 wins. But just looking at their schedule, they have the Cardinals twice, the Dolphins, the Falcons, the Raiders, and the Giants, which in my opinion is just like they start at 6 wins essentially, and then they just have to go 4-7 for the rest of the
Yeah,
season.
yeah,
And obviously, it's never as perfect as that, but Cardinals twice, the Dolphins in there, and the Giants in there. Like, I just think they have such a higher baseline that they're like going to consistently beat teams that they should beat, and they are always going to have a puncher's chance against any team with Kyle Shanahan. And I landed
yeah,
over 9.5. That's kind of my entire analysis.
yeah. Must see TV. Kyle Shanahan. Go read "The Why Is Everything" by Mike Silver.
Yeah, read
It's
that.
about Mike Shanahan and Mike
Same.
Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, and a lot about Mike McDaniel too. That's why I'm a big Mike McDaniel guy now. But let's go to the Rams. 11.5. You guys took the over. I took the under. The only reason I took the under. All right, Zach, bro, chill. You're looking at me like that. I took the under just because 11 wins, rather 12 wins is a lot of wins. 12 is a lot. And the NFC is, as we've explained, like there's a lot of teams who we think are going to get to 10 to 11 wins. And just by virtue of that, I think getting to 12 wins is going to be difficult. Like that's kind of the entire argument. It's not that I don't feel good about the Rams. I do feel good about the Rams. I think they'll be um like in the NFC championship again. I just getting to 12 wins in the NFC is going to be a really tough task.
I don't think there's anything like wrong with saying that at all because they also have a very hard schedule on top of that being a very
Yeah.
hard. Do you think there's any game on their schedule, looking at it right now, other than their game in Seattle that you would like say they're not favored in?
Like by Vegas, if I had to guess.
Or just you
Um,
like think they should or should not be?
I mean, the thing with it, like
This
the
is just a fun
Niners,
question. I'm not trying to
no,
like
I get it. Yeah, yeah. The Niners, if it were like I could argue that, but that's going to be an international game to start the season. Um, at Philly, like
like that's a very
I don't even. Yeah, it's a losable game. Like
I
you
wouldn't
know,
pick on
yeah, exactly. Like I wouldn't pick the Eagles, but that's kind of a coin flip to me. Yeah, looking at it. Oh, excuse me, they are at San Francisco, so that would be the other game where I would feel heavy. Yeah, that's the thing is like, but I also can see them losing. You know, uh, at Denver. I can see the Bills stealing a game in LA on Monday night. It just yeah, it comes down to like
their
like
schedules.
look the end of like they're like after the bye week they go Packers, Chiefs, Niners, Cowboys, Seattle, Bucks, Seahawks. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's I mean it's possible that last game of the year doesn't matter, but like that's a really tough end of the season. And as I
That
talked
game
about,
at the end of the year, like, probably will be like the most important thing ever. They play the Seahawks twice in the last 3 weeks. That's actually
yeah, and one's on Christmas Day.
that's insane.
Yeah, on a short week because they'll play on Sunday, the Sunday prior at Dallas, or yeah, at Dallas. Also, like man, if Ty Simpson plays, they might go 17-0. But for some reason,
Stop,
I think
stop saying. Stop.
I think Sean McVay is going to be a little bit of a coward there. Stick with the
Not like their
80-year-old.
starter just won the MVP or anything like that.
Rodgers won the MVP, and then they drafted Jordan Love. Kind
Yeah,
of with the Packers.
yeah.
Stetson Bennett.
Let's dip out to the Seahawks, our finale, the Super Bowl. Unless anyone has anything especially incredible to say about the Rams.
I'll
All
just
right, so
say, let me just say real quick, sorry. There were
you're
four
good.
teams last year that won over 11 and a half games. There's always a team, if not four, that do it every year. Like, if there's any team that's gonna do it, I know the Rams have a very tough schedule, but if all they got to do is get to 12, like the Jags won 13 last year. Like the Rams have the reigning MVP with, Puka
The
Nacua.
Jags were also in a division with the Titans and like the
And the
Daniel
Texans and
Jones
the Colts
list.
were like 7-1 to start the year.
And the Colts lost like 12 games in a row. They somehow lost. They somehow won eight, whatever. But yes, I understand where you're getting at. I understand where you're getting at.
I get your take, but like I just think I personally just think they're so stacked. Like
I can
I just
understand that.
it's
I don't
so
like.
fun
Don't
to
get me
watch
wrong.
this
They can
game.
get that.
Yeah.
There were. Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
So the Seahawks 10 and a half. Um. Tim has the over. I have the over. Zach, you have the under. Super Bowl champs going under. Let's hear it.
I just This is tough. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they lost Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. Do we know if he's going to start the year?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's going to start.
They drafted Jadarian Price in the first round, but he's a rookie,
He's
and
a
I don't
rookie.
think he's like
Rookies never
probably
are
the worst first
bell
round
cows.
like pedigree running back to be drafted in I don't know
He
how long.
was.
Right.
He was
And
a.
you're
He
one
was a.
pick away
He
from
was
being
a
a second
backup.
rounder.
He was a backup. He got whatever. It's not actually a backup. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Like
yeah,
he was even a bell cow in college, and like you can't just
Yeah.
throw him in week one. Not that like the running back position necessarily matters. But now the Seahawks have a first place schedule. You know, can Sam Darnold I mean, I hate to say I'm betting against Sam Darnold because he was great last year. Good enough for them to win a Super Bowl, and that shows a lot about their roster as well. But like, can he put two I guess he did put two back-to-back great years together, technically. But can he put three together? Obviously they lose Kubiak. Um, I don't know. I think 10.5 is a lot. If it was 9.5, I'd be tempted to take the over. I don't think they have a losing record, but I do think that division's tough. I know I took the under on the Niners, but I think they're going to probably split. Um, I just think that division's tough. Tough schedule, obviously. Obviously they're staying on the West Coast for the AFC. Those are three teams in the AFC West that are very tough, their own division. I've kind of been making this argument for the same, for the Niners. Losing their offensive coordinator, could they have caught lightning in a bottle between Sam Darnold and Kubiak? Maybe. You're down your top two running backs last year that kind of not carried you, but got you to the Super Bowl. I'm just a little suspicious that the Seahawks they were great last year. I'm not going to say they just kind of walked to the Super Bowl because they had to beat the Rams to do it. Um, but I do think that there's going to be a little regression there. They played a long season last year. They stayed primarily healthy for the most part. I don't think JSN can get that much better than he was last year. So I'm just taking a soft under here. I'm probably not going to bet this. But I do think that 10 wins, 10-7, no one's going to, turn their head to a Seahawks 10-7 record, second in the division coming off a Super Bowl win. Like no one's going to be disappointed by that. Like I can easily see a 10-7 season for the Seahawks, but I'm probably not going to bet this to be honest.
I really don't hate that take honestly at all. I took the over just because it's like 11 wins. I could just really see them winning 11
Yeah.
games.
Yeah,
I think on top of all of you said, everything you said, the Super Bowl hangover and just the Mike McDonald defense is like very much the new like meta of defense, and he's like at the tip of the spear of that. And now like so many more teams are running it and everything and it like really encapsulates everything you've heard in the last couple of years of like you know, uh, with too high safeties and all this stuff, like keeping your whatever. With teams seeing that more and it being like the new meta, like it might not be like as much of a schematic advantage as it has been. So like maybe teams start to do that. That's more of like an NFL like league-wide philosophy thing. But a 10 and a half, it might be baked in there already a little bit in terms of a Super Bowl hangover instead of being like where the Rams are at. So I really don't hate that take. I took the over, but like I really don't hate your argument.
it can go both ways.
Yeah, this is one I don't feel too crazy about. Like this entire division, I think is just going to be like 11 wins and like so be it kind of thing. Like it's just it's kind of the same thing with the Rams where I was like, oh, it's hard to get to 12 wins, like, but 11 wins, that's a number you can get to if you're the Seahawks, right? So it's like you're splitting hairs. I don't feel super confident one way or the other. The whole running back thing doesn't really move me whatsoever. I don't like. They were smart to let Kenneth Walker walk. I get they were a very it was a very good move. It was a very, like it makes like letting a um Super Bowl MVP walk is kind of an interesting dynamic, but I was okay with it. And Jadarian Prince in college football 25, I went crazy with them. So no, I have nothing too much to add. I think you guys kind of covered it all. Just because we're kind of it's a little bit of a lengthier episode. We'll wrap up on that. Um, we'll do AFC next week. I think we can all say that.
Yeah,
AFC next week. All right, cool.
absolutely.
Zach, do you want to spit your stat real quick?
Yeah, we got time.
If you
Yeah,
guys are good with it, yeah, we
quick.
can get we can try to pump this out.
Do we want to just do this in? Okay, yeah. So let's see here. I'm gonna give you. You want 3 or 5 players for this stat? I don't know how much time we got.
I mean, if it's like super difficult, three, but give us five, and then if we don't get
Yeah,
it, just give
well,
us yeah,
let's just do five.
All right.
yeah,
Let's
do
go
five.
right. Let's
Yeah.
do it right.
All right. Do you want to cut this into a separate intro, or did I just ruin
No,
everything?
you're good. You can just run it. Oh, you know what? Yeah. If you want to intro it, however you feel comfortable introing it, and then we can go from there.
All right, let's rip this stat. I gotta
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna do free for all here, and I'll start it like we can start the video when I like introduce the stats. Does that sound good?
Okay, cool.
All right, perfect. So we're doing last player to score a playoff touchdown for these 5 teams. We're gonna do a free for all, and we're gonna go ahead and start with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Tyler Boyd, did he score the last one?
Is
No,
it Jamar Chase?
no,
T.
T
Higgins
Higgins? T
no,
Higgins?
against Jalen
Oh,
Ramsey? No.
no.
Chase Brown, Gesicki,
it was in the Super Bowl. It was in the Super
Tanner
Bowl for sure.
Hudson,
That
Yossi
no, that
Potts.
doesn't necessarily have to be in the Super Bowl because they made the conference championship the next year.
Oh, you're right. They did. Oh, wow. I completely
Oh,
forgot about that. Uh,
it's one of the guys I just said.
did
Um,
Uh,
Joe Burrow run in a touchdown that year?
oh,
no,
who's the white returner dude that went to Purdue?
I don't know. It's not him.
Oh.
I think I know who you're thinking of though.
Ben
Mitchell
Jarvis, Green
Tinsley?
Ellis. Um,
It's not
No,
Gesicki. It's not
in that
Hudson.
Cincinnati game, the conference
Samaje
champion.
Perine?
Samaje Perine. There you go.
mm,
Oh,
1-0 Tim. All right.
mm.
Well, let's go ahead and move to the Dallas Cowboys.
just naming players. Oh, and that
Oh, that was in a blowout against the Packers, right?
Ferguson?
Jake
Brandon
Ferguson.
Cooks. Oh, wow.
Ah,
There you go. 2-0 Tim. It's going to get a little trickier here. The Atlanta Falcons.
oh, Julio, Andrew Hawkins,
Andrew
uh,
Hawkins.
No.
Austin
Devontae
Eckler?
Freeman. I don't.
Devontae Freeman.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
really?
good one.
Ian's
Wow.
on the
Wow.
board.
Wait.
2-1
It was that long
2017.
ago? What?
They got one of the longest playoff droughts in the NFL right now, by the way.
I know. Wow. I did not
Yeah.
realize that. I
Yeah.
thought that as a joke, but okay.
There you go. Indianapolis Colts, number 4, 2-1 Tim. Good luck.
Oh god. Well,
It was
they played
against the
the
Bills.
Bills.
It was
Yeah, I was
against
gonna
the
say
Bills.
Jonathan Taylor, but if you're saying good luck,
Oh, it was like a really tall wide. It wasn't Michael Pittman, was it?
Nope.
It would feel like it was a receiver though. Did Phil Rivers run one in?
I wish.
Um,
is it Ashton Doolin?
No.
bro,
Oh.
what? What a
Is
fool.
it
EBK.
oh Jack Doyle?
Jack Doyle.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right, so Tim's up 3-1. We'll see how much time we got left. Maybe we'll get
yeah.
a bonus round in there for Ian, but we're going to go to the Las Vegas/Oakland Raiders.
Mm.
Derek Carr threw a touchdown to Darren Waller.
No, he might have, but wasn't the last one.
Wasn't the last one.
Crabtree? No. Oh, Hunter Renfro?
Nope.
Oh man, I
Is
don't.
that team though? It's
It was against the Bengals. It was the year the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, right? Like that has to be the year. Um,
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, and I think I had to have been that Bengals game, right?
Yeah. I,
Josh
yeah.
Jacobs,
I feel like they scored late. I feel like they
Michael
scored
Mayer.
late.
No, no,
Uh,
this is before
there
that.
was like a receiver that went to like South Carolina. He had a couple touchdowns that year.
Trey Man. I don't know. That's not Trey.
This guy's
Oh,
he's
Trey
a
Tucker.
veteran.
Trey
No,
Tucker. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
no, this guy's a veteran. Like he's a journeyman. I kind of forgot.
Jordy Nelson.
Willie
No,
Snead.
no.
Um,
Lewis Snead is bad track though.
he was a journeyman wide receiver.
Chris Moore or
He
something.
hasn't been on like 50 teams, but he's been on quite a few teams.
Uh, do
Oh, is
we
it
do we remember him as a Raider?
Allen Robinson?
I certainly don't.
Okay.
This one is tough.
Yeah, this is. Oh man, I can't.
Who
I
was the
can't even like.
receiver that like I think it was that year, like
I think I
Derek
had
Carr
this guy in
had like
fantasy.
three like bombs to him for no reason.
I might have had this guy in fantasy this year. It's a flex, and he kind of like saved me a little bit.
Year. Gosh.
Let me know if you need a hint.
Emmanuel Sanders. He never played for the Raiders. I don't know. I'm just thinking journeyman
Think
wide
you might have had him
receiver.
in fantasy this year?
Is
No,
in the
the
year not this past
Oh,
year.
oh, oh.
Although I think he's still in the league. I think.
what? So he was
Sure.
like he got
On Fredwell.
okay.
Um,
Laquan Treadwell. Wow. Um, LSU product, I think, right?
Drafted by the Bills.
Or Ole Miss. Oh, Zay Jones. Zay Jones. Zay Jones. Zay Jones. Zay Jones. Zay Jones. Zay Jones.
Give you a chance.
Damn.
Give you a
I'm
chance.
mad that I did. I'm really mad that didn't come sooner.
wait,
But
did you
yeah,
give a hint?
Yeah.
What was the
he's a
hint?
draft. He's a drafted by the Bills.
Drafted by the
Oh,
Bills.
Yeah.
you
He's
were
a,
gonna.
yeah.
I know. It's kind of a gift. I want Ian to get to 3-2 here. New York
Appreciate it.
Giants.
Oh,
OBJ.
Daniel Jones,
Oh, no, no, no.
Saquon, Singletary.
Um.
It was or was it
Orleans Darkwa.
Kyle
Uh.
Rudolph?
I love
Um,
these names right now.
Sterling Sharp.
Sterling Shepard.
A little later
Sterling
than that.
Shepard. Sorry. Yeah. No,
Um,
Sterling. Yeah. No, Sterling Shepard. I
Wandale?
mean, yeah.
Wandale Robinson?
Nope.
No,
Um,
this was like
oh,
Eli.
who was the guy that like was on the Bills first? He had a
Oh,
good year
Isaiah
that year.
Hodgins?
Singletary?
No, not Isaiah Hodgins. Oh, wait, wait. Oh, I'm thinking. I forgot they played against the Vikings.
Yeah, it's
Isaiah,
that
yeah,
Vikings
Isaiah. It's not Isaiah
one.
Hodgins.
That wasn't their last game.
No, they played against the Eagles the next game. Yeah, the next week.
Oh, right.
Um,
The
is
game
it?
that
It's
they got
not.
murdered.
It's not Saquon, right? Saquon wasn't there that year.
Oh, was it Slayton?
Nope. It's crazy because Saquon was playing in that Eagles game.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Did Terod come in at the end of the game and run one in? I
No.
don't think he was
I'm
on the
pretty sure
Giants
the
that
score
year.
was like 35-7. I think they scored one
Yeah,
touchdown
yeah. I think it was.
Not
because they
Singletary.
scored first, I think. It might be like,
What's the tight end on that team? I wanted to say Kyle Rudolph for some reason.
Why did Zach? Why is that making me ring up? Like that's ringing a bell in my head. It's not Orleans Darkwa.
no, I mean,
Uh,
it's not a horrible guess.
it's a
Wayne
running
Gallman?
back. Wayne Gallman.
No, I wish.
Oh, ho,
You wish.
ho.
Was he Tennessee? Tennessee product?
Clemson.
Orange.
Yeah.
Orange.
It was like there was like a bad Clemson year, I think, right? When he came out, maybe
Oh
not.
yeah,
I
because he
don't
played in
know.
that Louisville game against Lamar in 2016. He had a touchdown in that game.
Who can forget? Who can forget?
Wayne Gallman touchdown.
Clearly us.
Gosh, who is this?
Uh, can we get a hint at this rate?
Um,
It's gonna give it
yeah.
away.
Do you want like a team hint or do you want kind of like a stupid hint?
Stupid's
Go
fine.
stupid. Stupid's fine.
This gives it away, man. Um,
You're the one that's gonna give it away less.
okay. He played on the Niners before this.
Rita.
Oh, damn.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Damn, I completely
I was
forgot
gonna
he
get a
was on the
stupid hint.
Giants.
I was gonna say something about a drum. Do we want to get
Wait,
one
wait.
more in? Do we see if Ian can
Or
get three?
one more and call it.
Sure,
All
throw
right.
another one in.
I'm gonna give you guys the hardest one I can possibly give you, the New York Jets.
Oh
Hmm.
God.
Oh,
So last time
Winslow,
they're in the
Kellen
playoffs,
Winslow.
like
Kellen Winslow, LaDainian Tomlinson, excuse me.
Sean Green,
Sean Green,
No.
Mark Sanchez, did he run one in?
So I'm assuming this is
Antonio
the
Holmes,
Steelers game, right?
Plexico Burris,
No.
Yeah,
So this
must have
is
been.
Steelers
Must have
AFC
been.
Championship.
Jeremy Curley.
Wow.
Played on the Jets like 10 years later.
David
Um,
Nelson. Is it David Nelson?
No.
oh God.
Mm,
The Brickishaw Ferguson from Borusky.
dude. How
Okay.
many Jets exist? Like how many Jets existed in
Can we skip
2011?
straight to initials?
Yeah.
Or is this guy like no? Is this like
Should we
gettable?
know this? Should we know this?
Oh, you know the guy, absolutely.
Oh, it's Antonio Holmes?
No.
Uh,
Let me see if I'll give you guys I'll give you his career path. Maybe that'll help.
Okay.
okay.
So he went Jets, Steelers, Panthers. He retired in 2015. This let's see.
Jets.
Oh, I know who this is. Oh my God. He was on the Cam Newton like MVP season, like Kotchery.
Jericho
Jericho.
Cotchery.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Jericho
No.
Cotchery. Wow.
Tim 5-2 in a row.
Wow.
My
Wow.
stat. You guys made that
Wow.
easy work. So that's all
Wow.
I got for that one.
Way to be. Well, we are going to wrap this episode up. We got episode 47 coming up next week. So we'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching the episode 46. There was Andy Pettit wore 46. That's a big one that we missed for baseball,
Not
which
that I
whatever.
said Jack Campbell at the top, but yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, not like we're kind of it's tough. It's getting tough right now. But that is
47.
Zach Patron.
Alec
That
Ingold, 47,
Oh, maybe. I should know
maybe
that.
I
I feel
don't
like he's
know.
a 45 guy.
45.
45, 45. All right, let me look this up real quick. Too quick.
Yeah, he's
Tim, how'd you know, dude?
was on the right. Well, he's a Wisconsin guy.
He was 30 on Miami, 45 on the
Oh,
Raiders.
all right. John Lynch, 47.
Yeah. What about Spillane? Did he wear 47 on the Steelers?
Oh, Christian Benford
NBA
for the
player,
Bills. I should
like
know that.
Semi
Yeah.
Ojale or something, wore
The
47.
the Bills have two
Benford.
notable 47s. Christian Benford and Kiko Alonso.
Kiko Alonso.
Ah, Andre Kirilenko, AK 47.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Chris
He's
Conti.
like, he's like
Chris Conti.
Chris Conti.
This is the most. Oh, Alex Anzalone. This is the most white player in NFL history.
Andrew,
Number of all time
McDonald for the Flyers.
Anzalone wore 47?
with the Saints. With the Saints. With the Saints. With the
Oh,
Saints.
okay.
Should have gotten that.
Oh, I think it's a big long snapper number.
Who's that guy in the
Mm,
Bengals who's like 55 and has like that crazy hair?
Is
Remember that
that
guy? He wore 47, right?
Kiko
I don't know.
Alonso on the Dolphins? 47.
Yeah.
I forgot about him completely.
Traded one of the wildest trades in NFL history. Kiko Alonso for LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah. There's barely any player for player trades in the NFL,
Yeah.
any, let alone for that. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Seven stuff.
All right.
All right. Well, hey.
I gotta get my sleeps.
Yeah, I do too. Oh, Herm Edwards wore 46. How could we forget Herm Edwards 46? Thank you for watching the Herm Edwards episode. That's Zach Return. I'm Tim Fournier. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Peace.